This is Officer Ryan Gill. He's 35 years old. He's been in the force for 12 years, and he has offered to help us take a closer look into a cop life.
So this is where we get gas. This is called our corp yard. We have our hidden gas places. Most cities have their own corp yard. Oh, we have one of our canine dogs here. Canines here.
We get our dogs from Europe. They come over with basic obedience and some basic sport training, and then we work with them over time so that they can become police work dogs, and then our training is continuous after that every month. They're like a partner, just as a human would be, except they're a four-legged furry partner. So they're great to have.
I think we all get attached to them.
Yeah. You know, a lot of the misconceptions out there is that dogs are out to bite people, but that's not the case. Dogs are actually locating tools. Biting only happens if somebody does something aggressive towards the dog.
This is our office, the whole outside and the whole outside world. So we really get to know all of our equipment. We all have our own little setup. They try to give us some luxury. It's like we have really electronic seats and stuff. But the main guts of this patrol car are right here in the middle. We have our touchscreen computer in the front. We can see what everybody else is doing. Everybody on the screen, for the most part, is a police officer, with the exception of like 1 or 2 civilians. This is our radio. It's just a standard, like, walkie-talkie radio. This turns the lights on and off. My lights are inside the windshield, so it looks like a taxi on the outside, but it's a police car on the inside. We also control our sirens here. So this is the whale. Oh. So this is the Yelp siren. See how it's woo woo woo? It's real fast. Yeah. Your ears pick that sound up quicker. I'm confusing all the Safeway people. And then this is the T3. This is my favorite siren. We also have a PA, the public address system, which is I can yell outside, pull over, or whatever. And then we have our air horn. I think that if somebody's requiring a horn honk and I'm trying to drive like a normal person, I should have a normal horn. Because otherwise I feel like it's kind of a bully thing to do, to have an air horn. Because it's almost like, oh, dude, there's a cop behind you, get out of my way. And that's not us. We don't want to be looked at as the people doing whatever they want. They make everyone get out of the way like a bully. Because we don't want to be the bullies. And I think a lot of people think we are the bullies. That's why we all get scared when cops are driving on the road.
Has your job affected the way you think, like in terms of how you see people, even when you're off duty?
It has, actually. For the first few years, I think I really treated people like really poorly, as far as I didn't trust people, I was paranoid, I had absolutely no trust. So it changed my view in a negative way. I became like a grumpy old man, even though I was only 21 years old. I was grumpy all the time. I thought everybody was against me. As the years went on, I started actually talking to people and finding out why people did what they did, or why people chose the lifestyle that they chose. And once people started opening up and I started learning about people, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I get to actually learn about people. And people want to tell me about themselves. And I think I started really appreciating humanity, because I had lost, I mean, I've had a lot of my friends killed at Oakland. A lot of my Oakland cop friends have been killed. So you really start to appreciate humanity, and when you appreciate the human beings that are losing their lives for this job, and you kind of bond that with what I learn from people, and I find out the desperation that drives them to make bad decisions, I think I really, in an odd way, began really appreciating people's decision making, even if it was a bad decision. So my perception started to really change to the better. I really love talking to people, as you probably can tell, just because I get to learn. So it's actually changed me for the better in the long run. I fill out what's called a field contact card, and I'll note on the card that I stopped this car, and I'll write on here that there's a bullet hole. So in the future, if there's a complaint that there's a white Ford Explorer shooting in the neighborhood, they can pull up white Ford Explorers in our records management system, it'll show my contact that I've just made and show that he had a bullet hole in the side. So that might lead the investigators to go talk to him. So it's just more of a documentation stop than to give him a ticket. Chances are he probably doesn't have a driver's license because he gave me the Mexican ID. And unfortunately, he probably can't get an ID. So I tend to weigh whether to give him a citation or not. If he's up here trying to work hard and he just can't get his driver's license or whatever, I use my discretion. I'll let him off on a warning. Kind of a tough spot to be in. Do I want to punish him by taking the money away that he's working for? If he's a working person going to church, playing a keyboard in a band at church, trying to support his family, I'm only punishing him. I'm punishing his family too. So it's a very interesting spot to be put in because there's a lot of undocumented citizens who can't get driver's license. I mean, there should be some way to get people driver's licenses. That way, you know, that's more of like a political thing. But when I first started, I would get in these chases and they would just be wild chases, car chases, or foot chases or whatever. And then I would go back and tell my buddies about it, and they were like, oh, that's so cool, man. That must have been really cool. And then somebody would be like, oh, what are you talking about? And I'd start telling them again. And I was getting more enthusiastic and more amped because it's exciting. It is an adrenaline that you have never felt before. It's totally weird. So now your body has to recover from the adrenaline. And then you hear another call like a few minutes later, and your adrenaline spikes, and then you have to recover again. By the end of the day, you're just so exhausted. And it never goes away. The butterflies never go away.
Are you really video cameraing that for what?
School stuff.
Oh, it's school stuff. I thought you were gonna put it.
It's okay. It's not like the news.
Don't take it at parks and get stopped by regional.
So are you a
San
real
Leandro
cop, or you
police?
just
Don't do that.
Oh no, I'm just a
Stay in
security
school.
guard.
You're
Oh,
cool.
for real?
No.
No, he has a San Leandro police thing on his shoulder.
I got one of those for Halloween.
Do you? That's a cool
You know
costume.
the only reason why they're not honking at you is because you're 50? You want me to tell them to get the fuck out of your way?
Because I'm 50. I'm not 50 years
You're
old.
5'0".
I know what you meant.
I told